What's up, y'all? It's your girl Imani Chanel, and this is Women Boss Wednesdays. Today with me, I have Jamaica Banks. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Okay, Jamaica, so why don't you tell us about your business and what it is that you do? Well, the several things that she does.
I do a lot. I do a lot. So first and foremost, I am a private pilot. I do that for fun. I am in the dental field. I'm a dental professional. I've been in the dental industry for 12 years. I'm also an entrepreneur. I do things as far as investing. I do real estate tenants. I do Airbnb, car rental service. I just do a lot. I have an academy coming out. It's called the High Value Woman Academy. I do life coaching and mentorship.
I told y'all I was a lot, okay? Period.
I feel like even though I just named everything, I feel like I probably forgot some things.
No, but she did. She did because I did my research. So she did forget some things. Like there's a few more organizations and stuff we can like throw out there, but trust me, no, we're gonna get through it in this interview. So pay attention. What made you start your journey to become a dentist?
So dentistry is something that I literally fell in love with on accident. Like I started out as a nurse. I finished nursing school
Okay.
in 2009, and nursing, you have to be a certain caliber of a person for nursing. Like nurses are very special individuals. If you are a nurse, shout out to you
Yes.
because what you do is not easy.
At all.
And I found out immediately within literally like the first year that I didn't like nursing. I went straight into emergency room, which was everything from trauma, gunshot wounds. We had a motorcyclist come in. He came in one piece. His leg came in another piece.
They threw you right in.
The NICU. I went from there to the NICU. I love kids, and that was just heart wrenching. Just I realized that was just not something I wanted to do because even though I was helping them, sometimes the end result is that they die or their condition doesn't get better.
So you didn't have like you didn't feel like you had like the
No,
mental
I
health
did not.
that nurses.
No,
Yeah, mental health is big on
I'm
nurses.
too attached to my patients.
Okay.
So I ended up becoming a dental assistant. I went to somewhere and I found a brochure because I was trying to figure out other ways at that time to make money that was decent. And I had a small son. My son he was only like 2 then. So I wanted to figure out ways to where I could be home with him and not have to have so much strenuous work to do that would impact my mental health in a negative way. And then I found out about dental assisting. So I became a dental assistant in 2012, and I've been in the field since. And immediately I knew I didn't just want to be an assistant. I wanted to move forward and do more. Originally, it was hygiene. I wanted to be a hygienist because that was what was most tangible at that time as far as sounding
right,
believable, right? Because when I told somebody I wanted to be a dentist, it was just like, oh yeah, girl, that's cute, but
that's cute.
But there were no black dentists. There were no. I've never seen.
No, I believe you.
I've never seen a female dentist. I've never seen a black female dentist until I moved to Atlanta.
I was about to say because I had one.
And I'm from New York, so we didn't have. They were either older white Caucasian male, or they were Asian of some sort. There were no. I never seen in New York. I've never seen a black female dentist. So it sounded good, but it wasn't something that I thought was tangible. So
because you never saw it,
right? And then when I moved here, and I started seeing more of our people in that profession and field, it was like, oh, I could do this. And then they immediately started pouring into me, like, girl, go to this program and go to school to do this, and you need these credits and this degree and research this school. And I did this way. They literally gave me the play to do it. So it became tangible. So I started my journey to become a dentist.
Y'all never say representation do not matter.
It does.
Because representation really do matter. She saw a black dentist and said, I can do it, period.
Yeah.
Is it like anything about teeth particularly you like? Or
I love this sounds so crazy, right? Because when I tell somebody I love teeth, they're like, why do you love teeth? But if you think about it, your oral health is connected to so much and your appearance of your teeth. Your confidence is directly connected to your smile. Like if you have nice teeth, you feel better, you feel more, confident in what you do. You're able to walk in the world and be more secure with yourself versus when you have insecurities about your smile or your teeth are not as healthy or you have cavities that you know about, you're just more conscious about it. It kind of affects your quality of life. And I'm an experience of that.
Well, I said my girl got the braces. They cute.
They're coming off. I can't wait.
They're cute, but they're leaving.
I can't wait. So So yeah, and then I realized also I started out working with adults. So when I was an assistant, I assisted adults. Um, they always had these stories about how when they were younger, they went to the dentist and the dentist traumatized them. So I specialize in pediatrics. So I specifically chose to specialize in pediatrics to bridge that gap between adult and childhood with their experience at the dentist. So I just love making people feel good, and I love changing that experience for them when it comes to what they think about a dentist, like their dental experience in general. And then the health wise, like I've seen the grownest men, the toughest, roughest, grownest
Girl,
men
you ain't gotta tell me.
cry over a toothache will take you out. Okay,
My uncle
so
was dying.
literally,
Dying.
so I just feel better helping them, like relieving somebody's pain and helping them feel more confident about their smile and improving their oral health and just improving the quality of their life in general.
I love the dentist. Like I was like, I don't know those other kids, but I love going to the dentist. That was like my favorite
Some
thing.
people don't go.
Like I like them cleaning my mouth and doing the shh.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like,
yeah,
my teeth is white.
Right.
What y'all talking about?
And you have beautiful teeth, by the way.
Thank you. I tried. I wanted braces, but they told me I didn't
You
need
didn't
braces.
need braces.
Yeah, that's what they told me. I was like,
I thought you would have. I was gonna ask you if you had braces because your teeth are super straight.
oh, thank you so much. No, I've never had braces. I wanted them
That's funny.
because everybody else had braces. I was
You're
like,
one
why
of the
don't I
lucky
have
ones.
braces?
You are one of the lucky ones.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Look. She's like, stop complaining.
Literally, count your blessings, sis.
Thank you. I'm gonna stop. Okay, so how much schooling does it take? Well, does dentistry require, and what do you think are some of like the first steps that you have to take?
First and foremost, I always tell my mentees to go shadow somewhere. You need to know if it's for you. You need to know if it's something you like because dentistry is a career, even as an assistant level. Even if you're doing front office work, get a feel of what the dental office is, what it looks like, and how you can feel operating in that space because it's a career path. It's not your typical um, it's not your typical entry level job. Like it's a trade when you come in, depending where you start, and you're able to excel and go further and still stay. Like I have a girlfriend. She started off as a front desk office clerk. Mm-hmm. She was trained as an assistant. She moved on to be a hygienist, and she just finished dental school last year. Oh, so now she's a dentist. So it's just you have the opportunity to see and develop your passion and your skill for it. So I always tell people shadow first just to make sure it's something that you like and you love. Ask questions and just figure out what it is and what we do as dental professionals, no matter which area of the office that you plan to work in. Schooling is so there's different ways to go about it with schooling. Schooling, you are able to you can take all the prerequisites without having to have a 4-year degree, but a 4-year degree is preferred.
Okay, so it's not mandatory, but it's preferred.
It's preferred for some schools. It's preferred. Okay. Like they want you to have their prerequisites, all their prerequisites. Each school's, some of them are different. Some of them have different sciences. It's usually like organic chem, inorganic chem, biology 1, biology 2 with the labs. So it's like an extensive amount, but they prefer you to get a degree, some of the schools, because after you complete those prerequisites, you're only like 4 classes from a degree anyway.
So you might as well just go ahead and get a degree.
So typically it's anywhere between 3 to 4 years with prerequisites in undergrad. And then once you complete a bachelor's degree or most of your prerequisites, you can start applying for schools. And then dental school is 4 years for your doctoral.
Okay.
And then if you do a specialty, like if you want to do pediatrics, or if you want to do like a residency program for like orthodontics or oral surgery, because there's different branches of dentistry after you become a dentist. You can stay a general dentist, which does fillings and all that good stuff, or you can do a specialty, which is the dentist that pull your teeth, dentist that do orthodontics to put your braces on, a dentist that specializes in kids, pediatrics. It's so many different branches you can go. So those are extra years of education.
Okay, so this is off script, like my personal question because I just developed it right now. But so like when people start like their own practices, is that based off like their specials or?
No, you don't have to have a specialty to open up a practice.
Oh, okay.
You can open up your practice as a general dentist. Like even there are general dentists who do like they could work on kids even though they didn't go to get that specialty. Yeah. They're able to open up a practice and see adults and children.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
The specialty is just basically saying this is what I specialize in, And usually, like an orthodontist will open up, they'll go get a specialty and then open up an orthodontist office. So that's typically what happens. But if you come straight out of school, you can have your own practice without having a specialty.
Okay, so you don't have to go get a specialty and then be like, oh, well, you can just go ahead and open your thing and be working on a specialty in the meantime or something. Okay, I like that. Okay, so do you plan on starting your own dental practice in the future?
I do. I have so many different avenues that I want to do in dentistry. A lot of what I do today, no matter what it is always geared back to um, giving back in some capacity. Like I do, a part of my ministry, I do jail ministry. That's what I forgot to mention earlier.
No, you're fine.
I also do the jail ministry. In dentistry, so I used to work for a company that had dental buses, and it kind of sparked my interest to have a dental bus, but services.
What's a dental bus?
It's literally a bus, like a Winnebago, like a trailer bus.
Okay.
But they gutted all the inside out and they put all dental chairs in there so that dentists could go on there and
you just drive around and stop.
Of course, you park somewhere and take the patients, and you're not. Okay. Just to clarify, we're not driving while they're doing.
Okay, work. I was thinking of like a food truck or something. Like
it's similar to a food truck, but you stop and you just you pick a location you park at, and you have patients come on, and then when they leave after their treatment, you leave. So it's a mobile dental bus. It's basically a mobile dental office. But it's
does
not
it take like out of pocket money, or does it take like health insurance? Like,
so the bus that I worked on, it was for kids, and they did take insurance. It was like Medicaid. We went to different schools, and we basically serviced the underinsured or non-insured children in the school systems. Okay. So I want to take that idea and apply it, but I want to apply it to homeless people. So I want my own bus, and I want to be able to go down and service. And as a nonprofit organization owner, I would be able to get grants and funding from the state to do that. And then I would just have volunteers come and service, do the service work, the cleanings, the extractions, all that stuff. That's my plan for that and my way of giving back. I do want my own office. I'll probably stay with pediatrics because I do love pediatrics. I prefer the kids again because I want to bridge that gap between their adult experience and their childhood experience. I feel like if I can focus on making sure that the foundation of their journey in dentistry is solid and it's a good experience for them, and they'll continue, and then they won't need to stay away from the dentist long enough to where they have oral problems and cavities and we got to pull teeth. So it's more preventative, what my approach is.
Yeah, you're eliminating that trauma. Because if you get rid of the trauma, then they never,
it's
as
preventative.
Adults, you'll go.
So if they get a cavity, they're not afraid to go into the office and get it filled versus being afraid to go get their cavity filled. And now they're developing multiple cavities, and then they come in when it's terrible, and now we got to pull the tooth.
Exactly. Because I'm so happy they haven't told me about no wisdom teeth yet.
Some people don't need them taken out. They're not bothering you.
I'm really hoping I'll stay one of those people.
You probably will.
Because it looks scary. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Will. You'll probably be fine.
But everything else, though, the cleaning part, love that. Now, but that part, I used to be like...
Every 6 months, clean your teeth. Get your teeth clean.
Okay, so she's also a private pilot. That she did say. Might fly planes, okay? So what made you initially want to go into aviation?
Oh, my goodness. When I was a little girl, I tell the story so many times, but it's just like, and I get excited every time I tell it because I literally remember when I was younger, I went on a plane, and before then I said I wanted to be a pilot, and I was in foster care, and my foster mother told me, Black people don't fly planes. So she kind of like tried to kill my dream of becoming a pilot. And then I met another foster mother after her, and she took me to Disneyland for my birthday. And she ended up, I looked out the window, and it just always was intriguing to me. Like my first plane experience was so intriguing. And I was saying I wanted to be a pilot before I started actually being able to get on planes. Like before I was on a plane, I said I wanted to be a pilot. So when I got on that plane, she gave me a window seat. I looked out the window, and I just remember the clouds and the sun, and thinking to myself, as I got older, somebody really looked in the sky and said, like, I want to know what's up there. I want to put something in the air to be able to see and fly and get up there. So it kind of resonated with me of dreams being able to come true. So when I became an adult, I actually went for it. My companion at the time took me on a introductory flight, is what they call it. And I fell in love. I was like, I could do this. I got all the information for it, and I just started gradually. It takes a long time to do it because you got to accumulate the hours, the schooling, and the ground school, all of that stuff. You got to complete that stuff, but it's timely. However, it's so worth it. And I love planes. I love flying. It does something to me. Like it's my happy space. When I get discouraged in life, or when I feel like I can't do something, I will go catch a flight somewhere, or I will go book an instructor and go fly a plane. Like it just does something to me.
I love that. Like that sounds so cool to really be like, oh my gosh, I just feel like flying. And then you just go get in a plane and go fly.
It's a peaceful place. But I also wanted to have that representation again. We talk about representation.
Exactly.
It's super big for us because I didn't know any black pilots either. I didn't know any black pilots, and I didn't know any.
Well, other than what we learned,
right?
Tuskegee, that's about it.
Right. That's it.
So, that's it. That wraps it up.
Seriously. So being able to encourage other women and other young girls to do it, it feels good to me because I am that representation for them. I am able to tell them, don't ever let somebody tell you can't do something because it's possible. Why are you exempt from being able to chase your dreams, no matter how wild or far-fetched they sound? Because you don't see anybody else doing it that looks like you.
And maybe you need to be the first one to do it.
You might be, and I am. I'm the first in my family to do it. Almost everything that I'm doing.
Okay, we breaking barriers.
Generational curses, okay?
Generational curses, please, guys, please. We need to break generational curses.
We do.
If you wasn't thinking about it, if you thought like, oh no, I'm gonna just keep letting it go, please don't. Please break generational curses. It's a real thing. Okay, so like we just said, you don't see that many female pilots. Actually, I got some facts for you.
Okay.
Only 29.3% of pilots are women. And we're not even talking black women because I knew that was going. But just women in general, only 29.3% of women. So how much harder do you think you have to work as a female pilot, like just in general, to get the same respect that a male pilot does?
I don't think I have that issue. Quite contrary. I think commercial would probably be harder because that's like the airlines, that's like Delta, JetBlue, American. Yeah. So they're in a competitive field to where they have to compete for their position because a lot of the pilots on the commercial side are male.
Yeah, I'm gonna say most of my pilots have been white males.
And they're Caucasian. So you gotta fight. In fact, I just met one of my sorors, her dad. He brags about her. She's one of the first black female pilots to fly an American. Like she's an American Airlines commercial pilot.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not common, but she's doing it. So on the commercial side, yes. On the private side, private is more for leisure than it is for a career. We cannot, as a private pilot, you are not even allowed to charge people or how do I put it? As a private pilot, I can't charge you right now and to go to Miami if I wanted to. It's for fun. It's a hobby. Now I can do other things as far as chartering my own company and get paid that way. But as a pilot, I cannot charge you for fleet to another city. The FAA will not allow it.
Okay, so as you said, like you will only have like a few certain ways that you'll be able to gain money as a pilot outside of going to join an airline.
Yeah, you can do instructor. You can become an instructor.
Okay.
Instructors, that's like an extra training that there's some extra classes and things that you would need and requirements. But what an instructor does is when you go through training to become a pilot, the instructor is a person that teaches you physically. You rent the plane and then you rent their time and they take you up there and they show you what's what and they basically make sure you're in alignment with being able to prepare yourself for your test in order to get your license. So we pay the instructors.
Right. I'm gonna say so they're getting paid straight out of pocket.
Right.
Okay,
right. Or through whatever company that they work with.
Okay. All right. I like that, but mostly you flying free just to be flying free for yourself. I love that. Now I think I want to go learn how to fly.
Do it.
Look at her. Do it.
Do it. I encourage everybody to do it. Yeah.
Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just tripping. I like sitting. Like I like being in the air, but I really don't want to have to feel like I gotta like think about stuff.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Look, it's okay. Fly.
Those controls and all that. Yeah, it's a lot.
But I'm gonna just when you going somewhere next time, we just nudge.
I got you.
Hit you up. Okay, so now we're gonna switch gears a little bit because she does a lot. So we're changing subjects again. What is the Transparency Diary, and what was your initial reason for starting it?
So the Transparency Diary is my baby.
Okay.
I just feel like as a woman who has gone through so many different things and so many transgressions in my life, initially when people meet me today, they don't know what I've been through. So they automatically assume that I've always had it all together. I've always been this healed or this whole. And it's just like when they hear my story, they're like, wait, what?
You did that. You went
Yeah.
through
And
that.
so the Transparency Diary was something that it's a podcast. It's my podcast platform. It's a Christian podcast. I am a Christian woman. And it was originally to help other women and have that knowing to say that okay, this woman is here right now, but she's been through this, and so can I. I want it to be an inspiration piece for other women, so that they know that they're able to conquer whatever it is that they may be going on in their life, battling, struggling, past trauma. I think a lot of our stories as women is very similar. It's like I can tell you my story, and somewhere in my story, you'll be like, I went through that too. So me being able to have a platform with such influence, I wanted to have a podcast that allow women to be vulnerable with where they are in their self growth, and to say that I can heal and I can get through things and I can have the life that I want and I can be happy and whole.
I love that. So something just relatable.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah,
that.
because we're not in this by ourselves. Like I think the support from other women and that representation of what it looks like to go through things and understand that I'm not my past. I can take control over my life and move forward and be better and heal in these areas. That's very important for us as women to have that support from each other.
Of course, you don't have to be stagnant just because other people tell
Right,
you that you can't do this and you can't do that or you won't be this.
right, right.
No, you're more than that. I loved it. You're gonna make me cry.
Don't cry, girl, because I'm a crybaby too. If you start crying, I see other people cry. I be like, no, don't, please don't mess my makeup up
Okay, look,
today.
look, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Okay, so how hard is it to brand and market yourself in a way that keeps you relevant and keeps your followers engaged? Because if you didn't know, she's also Dental Bay on Instagram. So if you follow her, that's her. Yep. You didn't know. So how hard do you think it is, as I said before, to like keep yourself relevant and keep your followers engaged?
I think the best thing I could have ever did for myself was stop looking at what everybody else is doing and literally operate in my authentic self. I feel like there is so many different influences on the internet and in real life and around you, to the point where it's easy to start comparing and contrasting yourself, to the point where you start trying to pick up pieces of other people's identities or what they're doing and trying to apply it to your own self. And when you do that, you abandon who you are and your God given talents and abilities and your purpose that God gave you, because we're looking at everything else around us and trying to find ourselves in it. And sometimes we're not in there. That ain't us. Like that's not your lane. So I think the best thing I could have did for myself and my brand is to stay true to me and tap into what God gave me and stop comparing and contrasting and looking at what everybody else is doing and trying to apply what they got going on to my life just because it's working for them. Like we could put on the same pair of shoes, but maybe God told you to go left, maybe God told me to go right. Maybe your walk is different than mine, and it is.
Maybe she don't fit.
Maybe the shoe don't fit.
Don't even
Maybe
fit.
you putting your foot in the shoe that don't even belong to you. God ain't tell you to put that shoe on, right? So I just feel like I didn't even go viral on Instagram until I tapped into just I'm gonna just do me. I don't care what people think. I don't care what nobody says. Like this is who I am, and embracing myself fully to know that this is who I am, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And that's just what it is. I have no pressure with my brand whatsoever. I know that my engagement and my followers and all of what I do on the internet is very organic. Like my following grew literally once I said, you know what? Let me not do what they doing over there. Let me not apply that. Let me just I like my stuff this way. I want it to look like this. I want people to know this about me. And immediately like it grew. And I have, my following and my I don't want to say fans because I don't look at the people who support me as audience. My supporters, actually.
Yes.
My supporters. I look at my supporters as family. Like they can comment under a picture and I respond. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very hands-on with my people because I know why they're on my page. They're on my page because my brand represents what I wanted to represent. inspiration, testimony, luxury, high value woman. Like that's my brand, and I know my brand. And I also encourage people, know your brand. If you don't
Please.
know who you are and you don't know your brand, you are going to fall
You gotta know
so
what you're
short
selling.
on where you're going in life. Like you have to know that this is who I am, this is who I'm not. Take it or leave it. You have to know yourself enough to understand that your social media platform is what you make it. Your brand is what you make it. And your brand is not just on the internet, it's in real life. Like you have to show up as who you are in all areas of your life. Like you can't preach the gospel online, but then in real life, you doing some other stuff
Whatever.
that's opposite of what you're saying. So you have to make sure you know who you are and you operate in your authentic self. I can't stress that enough. Like I got all these different opportunities when I finally said, "This me." Hey y'all, JB, Jamaica, Dental Bay.
Period.
Hey, like that's what I encourage everybody to do.
No, I definitely think social media has lied to people. Authenticity sells. Authenticity definitely sells. People like authentic people. I think actually believe we're moving into a generation where like as I just said, authenticity sells more. Like than like people, oh, I'm just taking nice pictures every day.
Right,
Oh, I'm just
right.
going to Starbucks every day. Oh, I'm just, cute. I'm gonna make this, I'm doing this. Like people are getting over the whole like surface level, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
cute or I'm just rich or I'm just an artist, whatever your label is. Like people want to see more of like who you are, as you
Right,
said. Like they want to relate to things.
right.
Like they want to know your story. Like so
They want to know
because
you're
they
real.
have stories. Like that's how you make friends in real life.
They want to know you're real, and I think that relatability piece is what people lack these days because nobody wants to show their struggle. Everybody wants to go on into these spaces like I'm perfect, I got it all together, and I used to do that. I feel like the times like in comparison to now to like 4 years ago, I posted pictures when I wasn't happy. Like I truly wasn't even happy in some of those pictures when I look back at it. And then it's like now today I'm okay to post pictures and say, "Hey y'all, I had a bad day today, but guess what? God's still blessing me and we're going to pick up tomorrow and we're going to start over and we're going to have a better day tomorrow." Like I get more feedback from that than
Because you
for me
probably
to
just
act like,
motivated somebody that day that felt
yeah,
the same way as you did.
exactly. So being your authentic self goes a long way. I have been so blessed, so blessed. Even my post that went viral, um, I almost hesitated to post that and it took me 2 days, and I kept saying to myself, "What are people going to think? What if I'm trying to get a different job and these people come on my page and they look at this mugshot and it's just like God was like, who cares? Do you? This is gonna free somebody." And the moment I did that, the post went viral. I went to bed one day, woke up, it had 30,000 likes. I was like, what is going on here? So, yeah, be yourself.
I love that. That's look here I go about to cry again.
Don't
Let me
cry,
stop.
baby. Be
That is
yourself. Be
beautiful.
true
I
to you.
love that. I love that. Cause I really did like look at all your stuff, and I didn't even know that much about you until I started doing my own research, and I was like, oh my god, she has been through so much, and like she has overcame like so much. And this is my sorority sister, y'all. So I was really like, girl, snap it, okay? But no, like for real, I was like, oh my gosh, like just since sorry y'all, since I've entered like the sorority, I have like I'm a newer baby. So since I entered like the sorority, I've just met like so many different women that have like gone through so many things and have like different paths like you wouldn't even think. So it's
Right.
just like so when I met you and then like you have like your authentic and like story in itself, I was just like, oh my gosh, like it just made me feel like so much better to be a part of such like a solid sisterhood of like
Yeah.
impactful women that are like,
Yes.
really doing the damn thing, y'all.
We
For
are.
real.
We are. We
For
are
real. No, first and
the
finest.
first and the finest.
Period. Okay, we gotta stop. Okay, so how important is networking and how have the many organizations that you've joined help you on your career path?
Oh, support goes a long way. I used to feel like I had to do everything by myself. And it's cute to think you could do it by yourself.
Look, it's real
It's
cute.
real cute. When you want to be superwoman and you think that you don't need nobody, like that mindset, first of all, is a survival mindset. If you
It's
are a
not a good
person who
trope.
feels like you are so independent, you don't need nobody, you're really blocking your blessings, because that is not what God put us here for. He made Eve for Adam, and we have a sisterhood and a village for a reason. Everybody has a tribe. I feel like, I've been very fortunate enough to be watered and nurtured by the women that I have in my life, the women from our organization. There is nothing, if I need, it don't matter what time of the night it is, it doesn't matter what it is. There is somebody who knows somebody who can help me if they can't help me. I feel like tapping into sisterhood, even outside of our organization, sisterhood in general and support in general is so important, because the women that pour into me, they're helping me be a better me, so that I could be that ivy leaf, that ivy branch, to
Yes.
extend that same each one teach one mindset to the next person. They help me, I help somebody else. It's literally a village. It's so important to have people around you that nourish you, that allow you to bring your best self to the table, and they water that, and it's no questions asked about it. I'm very fortunate enough today to have such like-minded, beautiful women, but you also have to be a person who is that as well, because if you don't, you'll never be able to receive what you're asking for if you're not that. So I also had to go through a growing process of becoming a good friend, to get good friends, to receive good friends. I had to become a better woman, to be able to recognize other women as my blessings, and that's what they are. They're blessings. Every opportunity, every person that God puts in your path that helps you, even if it's for a season, that's a blessing. You have to nurture that, you have to water it, and you have to recognize that, but you also have to understand that you are that as well. You have to be that in order to receive it.
So that's why people say surround yourself with people that you want to be like.
Exactly.
You don't surround yourself with trash, you're gonna be
Right.
trash.
You're gonna be trash. If you hang around 5 millionaires, you might be the sixth one.
Right.
You're gonna learn something.
Look, I might be the billionaire. We
Right.
popping out, we starting a new group.
You might be right.
Okay, so I know you are a recent divorcee.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to ask, being a younger female entrepreneur myself, and out here single and whatnot.
Dating world has peanut.
Look, how did marriage and now divorce affect you in your career go?
So I have nothing bad to say about my ex-husband. We are very, very cool, very cordial. He served as a very important person in my life as far as my growth is. I don't regret being married. However, what I always encourage people to do is make sure you put God in everything that you do, because if you are doing things that are out of alignment with what his will is for your life, you will essentially hold up and block what he has for you. You have to have a supportive partner. It was actually harder for me to achieve my goals being married, because, we were unequally yoked. We got married very young, and it was kind of impulsive when we got married in the first place. So it's very important that as an individual who is dating, you don't lose yourself when it comes to dating, when it comes to men, when it comes to merging your life with their lives. There are certain things that should not be compromised. And when I say certain things, I mean your health, your mental space, your emotional space, your goals, your ambitions, your purpose. God will never send you somebody who wants you to give up all of who you are for them. The only person who required that was God, Jesus himself. So, I don't regret my marriage. I learned a lot. It made me a very, very, very better woman. I left out of that marriage a completely different person. It has made me become such a better woman. There were things in my traumatic childhood that I brought to the table with that marriage. And honestly, if it wasn't him, it was going to be somebody else. I would have brought that baggage too. He just happened to be the one that I married, and who helped, mirror that and allow me to see the things that I needed to work on as a woman. So I'm here today because of that marriage. It has definitely served its purpose when it comes to my growth as a woman and becoming a better person. The divorce, it wasn't a bad divorce.
Okay, look, the things turn to the upside, because you don't normally hear that.
It wasn't. He's not a bad person. I think it's more so we had came to the agreement, like, we're just two different people. It wasn't a nasty, drawn out. He's a good dad.
He was mature.
Yeah, I feel like when people hear the word divorce, it's just got to be so tumultuous,
right? You gotta
so crazy, but it wasn't. It was like, hey, this is not working out. We've outgrown each other. We still love each other. That's still my family. We have a child together. He's still very much so a person that's in my life actively. So it wasn't for the worst. It was for, we're outgrowing each other, and for the betterment of us, we're going to take these lessons and we're going to become better people for the next relationship that we might encounter. And that's kind of what it was. After when we separated and parted ways, quite the contrary, I propelled in everything that I'm doing. Like I became, the pilot after. I graduated college after. I was able to start a business and a nonprofit after. So a lot of those things that you guys see now, those happened after, after I got the divorce. So it's more so the saying that goes, sometimes God will hold up your blessing until
literally, Shadi just
clear.
said that yesterday. She said the exact same thing.
Sometimes God
He will hold your blessings
until the coast is clear. That's
until
pretty
you
much
get
what it
everybody
was.
out, no matter who it is. It could be a boyfriend, it could be a family member, it could be a friend.
A friend, yeah. God, even that, God has held up some of my blessings until a friendship ended. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just heard like the older you get, that different friendships, not you have the ones that do last, okay? You have the ones that you go through and like, no, that's my sis. But you do go through like trials and tribulations. Like recently I had like a very long-term friend that I had, and now like we don't even like speak. And I'm like, wow. I was like, I didn't expect like, but I spoke to like older women about it. Like I spoke to my mother, I spoke to my aunt, and like they're just like, sometimes things just happen. Like, friends go through, different cycles, and sometimes you just like you can outgrow a relationship, you can also outgrow your friends. Like, and that doesn't always necessarily mean like you're better than somebody now or anything like that. I mean, it could mean that depending on your situation, but particularly for my situation, like sometimes it could be like you just going different paths.
Yeah.
Like you're going this way and I'm going that way. Like I don't have to love you or hate you or anything. Like it's just that, hey, I'm over here now, you're over there, we ever cross back, hey, how you doing?
The thing is, everybody can't go. And I say this term a lot because I feel like if you are holding on too much to what God is trying to separate you from, you'll miss your blessing, because everybody literally cannot go. Like there's seasons and there's levels to everything. And sometimes when you transition into being a better you or growing in a certain area, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's your journey with God, whatever it is, you'll have people who don't recognize that, and they'll try to hold on to you even though you're trying to progress somewhere further in your life for the betterment of you. Your real friends will always support that. You don't have to talk to your friends every day. I don't talk to all my friends every day. I go on hiatuses frequently. I would frequently. Hey girl, I'm gonna let you know right now. I send out warnings. Hey girl, I'm about to disappear. I'm going on a fast for 3 months. They'll be like, okay. They'll just send out a text. Hey, every week, you good? You all right? What you got going on? You need anything? And then when I come back around, they're like, we pick up where we never left, like we never left off. So your tribe will recognize who you are, and they will never take that personal. They will never look at you and think, oh, she funny acting. Or because I remember when I started speaking more grammatically correct, because I used to be ghetto. All right, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a girl from the hood. So, now they see this prim, proper, and poised woman, and I articulate myself in a different way, but I wasn't always like that. So when I was more rough and tomboyish, and every word was a curse word or the N word or the B word, when I started grammatically correcting myself and speaking more with better, proper language, there were some people who was like, ooh, she thinks she's better than everybody. Look at her. They were mad about it. But really, it's like, you shouldn't be mad that I'm trying to be a better me. Like, I'm trying to tap into my best self. And I had some people who, they were looking at it as a means of, she thinks she's better than everybody. And it's just like, nah, sis, I'm just trying to be a better version of myself. I'm growing. And sometimes you outgrow people, and that's okay. Be okay with outgrowing people. If you don't add or subtract over your life the people that are around you, then maybe you do need to question, what am I doing that's stagnating me in certain areas, because everybody's not gonna go with you. And if everybody does, like I'm in my 30s now, I have a great collective. I know my solid five because we done had years and years of being friends. My solid five, when I add to the group, they embrace. I'm like, hey girl, this is my new friend. Like you'll have certain friends that stick with you, but you'll be adding. And sometimes when you add, you'll be like, they're not a good fit. And they'll fall to the wayside. I always have this theory, if you fell out with a person, that was never your friend.
Okay.
Meaning it's okay to disagree. It's okay to be mad at each other. It's okay to have things we don't see eye to eye on. But at the moment you cross boundaries that now don't align with your character as what a friend is supposed to be, then you were never my friend. That means if it takes you to be mad to betray me, if it takes you to be mad to disrespect me, tell my business or my secrets or slander my name in the public, we were never friends. Because my friends are more family. So if somebody does that to you, they were never meant to be around you or in your life to begin with. Because it's okay to be disagreeing with your friend. That's your family. To me, my friends are my family.
I see my
friends.
friends.
So if you and I have a disagreement and we don't see eye to eye, I don't gotta call 3 other people and tell them what happened. You know I'm mad at you. I don't have to slander your name or go do a sub on Instagram so you can see it and get mad. And now the issue that we have is even bigger. That's not what my friends would do. That's not what I do as a friend. So if somebody does that to you, you need to know your boundaries as a woman and where you stand when it comes to how you're treated, because you're teaching people how to treat you. So if somebody is treating you in an ill manner and it doesn't align with a character of a good person and a good friend, that was never your friend, and you shouldn't want them around you anyway.
Okay, look, she just talked to me because y'all saw me. I was listening the whole time. She was that. This was direct talking because I was serious. Okay,
I'm sorry. That's for real. Like, hold it down. Hold it down.
And this is coming from a 25-year-old because she said I'm only 25, so we working through. That was a real question for me.
You will learn, and have faith because it's all growing pains. Really, it's growing pains. God's gonna show you some things in this life. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be uncomfortable. But take the lesson with you and make better choices to where when you get older, you don't have to go through those same things. Have a better discernment of character. I tell my mentees, what are you looking at when you like people? Oh, I like her. What you like about her? You like that she's pretty? You like that she's popular? You like that? What you like about her? Her confidence? And usually the things that they are attracted to is either a reflection of what they feel they don't have and they want to gravitate more towards that because they want it for themselves, or they don't know what it looks like to not be toxic. Or dig a little deeper into the value and the substance of what a good character looks like. They don't even be looking at character sometimes. Oh, I like her. What you like about her? Because she was just cussing your friend out. Oh, she wasn't mean to me. She was nice to me, but she's mean in general. She's just not mean to you.
She's picking and choosing.
She's picking and choosing, which means if you piss her off, you're not going to be exempt. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to have discernment when it comes to what you're looking at, what you're attracted to. You got to pay attention because everything that glitters is not gold.
Oh my gosh, I love talking to you.
I'm sorry.
Can I be a mentee?
Yeah.
I was like, can I be a mentee? Oh my gosh. I think I need it.
Yes, you can.
So I really enjoyed this talk. This was Jamaica, y'all. Jamaica Banks, aka JB, aka Dental Bay, aka your favorite pilot, okay? Your favorite dental assistant, your favorite everything, okay? My favorite sorority sister now. Okay? Period. Look, we did it on cue too. Period. Okay. Y'all tune in next week for Women Boss Wednesdays.